Unit 4, Chapter 5, The French Revolution. The French Revolution of 1789 was a major event not only in the history of France but also of Europe. It was a period of turmoil and upheavals in the annals of French history. It first of all dealt a death blow to the idea that the ruler is superior to the common people and the theory of divine rights of the kings. The concept that the sovereignty lies with the common masses, which was unheard before, now became a reality. The French Revolution also gave to the humanity the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, which has become the cornerstone of the governments in the countries during the modern age, and had also plunged Europe into a number of conflicts which took place to implement the ideas of the French Revolution. Nature of French society on the eve of the French Revolution. The French society was facing political, social, and economic crisis due to the ancient regime which had existed in France. This ancient regime was based on the principles of inequality which was found in every sphere of human activity. There was social inequality, financial discrimination, and political disparity in France. It was found that in France, during this period, 9/10 of the people died due to starvation and 1/10 died due to indigestion. Causes of the French Revolution. Political conditions. France was ruled by the rulers of the Bourbon dynasty, who were the firm believers of the theory of divine rights of the king. In 1774, Louis XVI ascended the French throne when there was total chaos in France. He was unable to effectively rule as he was not interested in the day-to-day functioning of the empire. He did not have personal contacts with the common masses as he believed to be superior to them since he was the representative of God on earth. He was unaware of the sufferings of the common masses, and he would impose new taxes on the people whenever there was shortage of money for his lavish spending. His wife, Marie Antoinette, interfered in the day-to-day functioning of the state affairs. The rulers did not have any political vision. His rule was a rule of inequality because there were different laws for different social classes. Special privileges were given to the nobles and the clergy. Common people were put in prison without any trial, and the legal system favored the privileged classes. Causes of the French Revolution. Social conditions. The French society was divided into three social classes called as estates. The first and the second estates, comprising of the clergy and nobility respectively, were the privileged classes who enjoyed a number of privileges which were denied to the members of the third estate, that is, the common masses such as landless laborers, agriculturists, and workers. Inequality had existed among the classes. Though members of the third estate were in majority, yet they were left at the mercy of the first two estates, who were in a minority. The third cause of the French Revolution. Economic bankruptcy. The French Empire was going through a financial crisis due to her participation in the 7 Years' War and the help given to the 13 colonies in the American War of Independence. The situation was further aggravated by the lavish lifestyle of the ruler and the members of the royal family in the first two estates, who were exempted from payment of any kind of taxes. The burden of taxation fell entirely on the members of the third estate. It was said that In France, the nobles fight, the clergy pray, and the common people pay. Though the ruler tried to introduce financial reforms, but it aggravated the situation because the people were not ready for any kind of taxes or accept the atrocities of the rulers, nobles, and the clergy. The cause of financial revolution is contribution of French philosophers. The minds of the French people were ignited by the philosophy of the French philosophers like Montesquieu, Rousseau, and Voltaire. Montesquieu advocated the theory of separation of the powers of executive, legislature, and judiciary. Voltaire's criticism of the church and theory of social contract put forward by Rousseau, by which he advocated that the ultimate power should rest with the people, were instrumental in making the educated classes reflect on the condition of the French society. Their principles became the guiding forces not only in France but also throughout the world. The theory of social contract became the Bible of the revolutionaries. Indeed, it was the philosophy of these philosophers which shaped the course of the French Revolution. Course of the Revolution. The summoning of a States General by Louis XVI in 1789. Oath of Tennis Court, 20th June 1789. Formation of National Assembly by the Third Estate, also in 1789. Storming of Bastille, which was regarded as the symbol of French monarchy, on 14th July 1789. Drafting of Declaration of the Rights of Man, 27th August 1789, proved the determination of the French people to overthrow the monarchy and establish a government wherein sovereignty would be with the people. Reign of Terror and Aftermath. Though the National Assembly had successfully abolished the monarchy and drafted the constitution, yet this peaceful situation was short-lived when difference of opinion arose among the political factions, namely Jacobins and Girondists, after King Louis XVI was executed in January 1793. The Jacobins under Robespierre took control of the situation. Robespierre was afraid of the counter-revolution, and so he initiated a reign of terror when a large number of revolutionaries were executed at the guillotine. When the French army had successfully removed the fear of foreign invaders and the economy was stabilized, Robespierre was arrested in July 1794 for his misdeeds and executed. Thus, the reign of terror came to an end. After the execution of Robespierre, the restructuring of the government began and a new constitution was drafted in 1795, which gave executive responsibility to the Directory. In the meanwhile, Napoleon, who was the commander of the French forces, overthrew the Directory and first proclaimed himself as the first consul in 1802 and as the consul for life in 1804. With Napoleon at the helm of affairs, the revolution ended, but France came under the rule of a single person for a period of 15 years. Significance of French Revolution. It was said that when France sneezes, Europe catches the cold. This was so because the democratic ideas, the concept that the church and the state are two different identities and should be separated, and the sovereignty lies with the people, were successfully put into practice by the revolution, first in France and then in European countries. The French Revolution had paved the way for a secular system of government which separated the state from the church. It was a successful attempt made by the people to free themselves from the unjust rule of the monarchs who committed all kinds of crimes and who had no concern for the common man. It changed the nature of the French society totally. The French Revolution had plunged Europe into a number of wars when the success of the French people had inspired the people from other countries to revolt against their own unjust governments. The people gained enough courage to fight against the same rulers who were once considered as the representatives of God on earth. The French Revolution popularized the idea of liberty, equality, and fraternity in the international politics. It became the inspirational quote of the people in the different countries. It strongly advocated the principles of individualism and equality among the people and dealt a death blow on the concept of divine rights of the kings. It gained self-respect for the common man, which was trampled upon by the monarchs. Thus, the French Revolution was indeed a major event in the European history.